Good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. And welcome to the stream. So today, working on this Longines. It's a vintage manual. In relatively nice condition. I'll show the movement in just a second. JT coin rings. Hope you're doing well. Probably do the strip down today, possibly the assembly tomorrow, depending on how things go. But yeah, let me also just make sure cameras are all on. I'll try and do two birds with one stone in this stream. I'm going to see if I can also do some recordings for a short. So get a YouTube short out of this as well as the live stream. But let me get my tools out and we can start stripping the movement apart. So it's been a pretty busy week, one more day to go. Hope everyone's had a good week so far. This one shouldn't be too complex. I'll show the movement, just taking the case back off. Take the light off a little bit. It might just be. Oops, sorry, I just hit the camera, the microphone. Stopping. Yeah, we'll get this stripped down today. Efficient, super efficient. Super efficient. Yeah, hopefully we can get a live stream and a short out of it. It's been a while since I've worked on these vintage manuals. But it looks nice and clean. Doesn't seem to be any issues. I'm going to quickly just check to see if I have any spare parts provided with the job. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's down for a new glass, but I don't do that here, so that'll be back with the shop. I'll do the movement, so if they supplied anything like mainsprings or any wheels, hands maybe, the exterior stuff, glass crown, that'll go back to the shop. Because the YouTube shorts that have been going up this week have done very well. So I'm quite pleased with how things are going. You may see me try and get some shots with my phone every once in a while. Don't worry, that's just me trying to get some easy clips for editing later for a short. Trying to think, what else am I going to need for a strip down? Not going to need much. Things also, I'd say the quality's a huge upgrade. But trying to take the footage from stream seems to be a bit meh, bit iffy. It's not the greatest, but yeah. Alright, got movement holders. I'll just put the light back here a little bit. And the movement itself is actually very clean. So I'm hopefully not going to run into any issues or any problems, but it's a watch, so I wouldn't hold my breath. Let me just find my tweezers. I'm sure I packed them. There they are. Okay, very basic setup today. The balance will stop suddenly. It looked at when I put it on its side. It then stopped, but it is very weak. I haven't actually wound it, so I'm not sure how much power. Yeah, it was quite low, to be fair. So now it's running a lot better. So it may have just run down. I've literally just taken it out the bag to start servicing it. So it may have just been very weak on power. It's actually going quite nicely. Let's check the hairspring. I think it's a bit dry on oil. I was looking at the balance jewel. Isn't much oil in there. But overall, I'd say it's pretty well maintained. Job done, just needed a wind. Yep, that's it. Alright, stream over. Hope you have a good evening, everyone, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Oh, damn. I wish every job was like this, where it looks like it'd be a nice, gentle walk in the park. Nothing. This looks a bit dry. I'll check the pivots, make sure they're not running dry and wearing down. There's like a little bit of oil in the train, but I've seen much worse. Right, give me 1 second. Actually, so the way I've been shooting the shorts, YouTube shorts, is just little snippets here and there of the service. So I'll take a little, 4 or 5 second video of it prior to service, during the service, little what I may consider an interesting part of the service. So usually in the strip down, or people like seeing up close shots of the balance wheel. Obviously seeing it ticking is really nice. I mean, who doesn't like seeing up close shots of a balance ticking? But yeah, this is a, what's this referred to as? Jamboree? Longines Jamboree? I'm not sure. I haven't worked one of these ones, I don't think. It's new to me. Longines 280 for the caliber. Take another little video. But yeah, if I get this stripped down today, tomorrow I can get it assembled. And over the weekend, I'm really trying to get some like main channel videos sorted. I made a start stripping down the Benson that I've been talking about forever. It's also had a broken setting lever spring, but I've got one coming in hopefully over the weekend. And obviously a new balance staff for the Benson. So that was actually going to require a bit of work, and also case work. But enough of that. Let's make a start on this. We've got 2 clamp screws and clamps just on the either side here. So loosen those up. Actually, before I saw the movement sink, so I'm also going to loosen. Did I take out my yellow screwdriver? Such a potato. There it is. But because I saw it sink, I'm also going to preemptively loosen and possibly remove the stem. Don't want to press down and push the movement into the glass and damage anything. So we'll remove the first clamp and clamp screw. Alright, that's about to come out. Try and bring the light back over. Okay, it's stopping now because the second hand's going to be touching the glass. So we've already loosened the stem, so that crown comes straight out. So now there's nothing holding the movement in place. We've removed both the clamps, stem and crown's out. Let me get a movement holder. And we can flip the movement over. Oop, and extract the movement. Probably something a bit bigger. It's a bit small. One size up. I think that'd be fine. Okay, this might need a bit of gentle persuasion. Sometimes these movement rings, I don't say they get stuck, but they're like a bit kind of grip onto the case. Where's my ring? I was trying to find my black ring there, but I couldn't see it. Not an issue. I'm actually going to go with the smaller one because that bigger one's just hitting the movement ring. Okay, immediately the movement ring just fell out. And out comes the case. And it's been a few days since I've done a live stream. Sunday was the last one. We've had a short every single day up until now. Now we're doing the live stream. Hopefully get another short up tomorrow. I can make a short out of this one for the weekend. Maybe I can get a main channel video up. I think that's going to be more next week though. Try and be realistic. Okay, just getting the stem put back so you can't really see my fingers and hands are in the way. All I'm doing is tightening the setting lever screw. So now we can pull the stem out the handset. We can move the hands. I'm just going to leave it on this cushion. Okay, I've got one hand trying to do the work and the other trying to record it with my phone. Oh, that's tight. Try that again. Oof. Yeah, those hands were on very tight. Actually become quite fond of this little device. If you've not seen this before, they are hand removing tools. So you've got your claws at the bottom here. These will go underneath the base of the hands, and as you squeeze, you've got this little protective rubber cushion at the base. Press down on the dial and take the hands with it as the center part goes up. I found them very useful for hands that are actually really tight. Breitling hands in particular. I'm not very fond of Breitling hands. carry on. Okay, I see a dial foot screw. But we've got one just here, which means the other, yeah, just here. So let me loosen up those two screws. And that dial is loose. Alright, I'm just gonna get another recording. We can also now inspect underneath the dial. And at first glance, everything looks perfectly fine. So I'm going to check all the teeth, make sure nothing's broken. And obviously the key one to check is also the setting lever spring. It's quite common that you see those broken, but it's pulling out fine and holding. One of the giveaways if you have a broken setting lever spring is when you pull your crown out to set the time, it immediately pulls back in. So you'll pull it out, but then the movement will drag the stem back in because your setting lever is not holding it in place. It's broken. Sometimes the yoke and setting lever can hold it in place, whilst your setting lever spring might be broken, it can still hold just on the yoke and the setting lever. But a lot of the times it will just pull back in. So now you know. There's also like a little cover plate, it seems, going all the way around the hour wheel. So we'll check that out in a second. Looks like it's going over the cannon pinion. Let me just... Ooh, that dial washer is stuck. And we got it. It's off. And so we've got two screws, one here, that's holding down that cover plate. That cover plate looks to be covering the cannon pinion. I mean, it makes sense, there's nothing else, there's no complications on this watch. Okay. It's got stuck in my screwdriver, or the hole next to it. That's all good. I haven't seen a cannon pinion like this before. I'm assuming that these two are fixed. Maybe. For 1 second. I may have just done an oopsie. Not a big oopsie. Not concerning. But it looks like, I didn't notice this at first, but pinion from the third wheel's coming through, hitting the cannon pinion, and the pivot's now, that plate that I just took off houses a jewel for that pivot. So we'll put that plate back. I think what I'll also do is kill the power from the other side. Just to risk, oh sorry, not risk, avoid risk. Okay, that pivot's just not going in place now. Oh, we know that for next time we work on this movement. Let me just cut the power. Don't, oh, come back. It's like punch the camera. Sorry about that. Okay. Now there's no power. And I'll take out the ratchet wheel for good measure. It is fixed. I mean, that plate would have had to come off anyway. So I'm trying to piece together how. Yes, that goes on top, covers the cannon. But I'll take that off to take the cannon off. I've just got to make sure I kill the power so we don't damage anything in the train. So this should now, there's no friction on there. And we are now met with, what on earth are you? Well, this is going to be a bit of a learning experience for us. How peculiar. Looks like the post for the cannon pinion. It's got its own part that can be separated. So it's two screws holding down this post and bridge, which the cannon sits on. I'm not going to touch that just yet, at least. I may just leave it in there completely. But we can now put that back on. Okay, so I'm going to have to remember to put that back on the assembling side of this. But we've also got to put the cannon in first. So it's a slightly different setup to a standard watch, but it's nothing overly complex. So yeah, this plate that I just took off, that holds down, I guess it's like a protective plate for the cannon, but it's also housing a jewel, probably the third wheel from the train, and that engages with the cannon to then turn the whole thing. So there's no friction actually on the cannon pinion. I believe, oh, that should move, obviously move independently, so you can set the time. It's probably just a friction, yeah, it's like a friction fit type job. Cool. I'll flip her over. Now onto the good stuff. Just give me 1 second. But yeah, not a calibre I'm too familiar with. It's been a while since I've worked on one of the old Longines like this. It's quite nice. I guess I'll take off the crown wheel next. Actually no, before I take the crown wheel off, let's just remove the balance. There we go. We'll eliminate any risk of damage to the balance. So I'll pry it off its posts. Okay, that's off. It's loose. I'm just gonna get a little video on my phone with me taking it off. So 1 second. Okay, balance is out. Now it's quite straightforward. Two screws holding down the crown wheel. Now they're both removed. Sometimes there's a ring here, but no, there's nothing there. Nice and easy. So pallets are out. All we have left is the train bridge and the barrel bridge. Let's go start with the train. So I didn't screw in the Delphi screws either, so I was going to do that. Otherwise they'll come loose in the machine. I had to go search for them. I don't really want to do that. Excuse me again as I try and get another little clip for a YouTube short. Nice. The other good thing about streaming and recording everything I do is that it acts as a nice reference for jobs that, like this, where I haven't really worked on them. I've now got a good reference point. If I get stuck on something, I can just look back at the live stream and go, oh, that's how I've done it. Oh, that's what I needed to remember. Definitely got its perks. Okay, the last bridge is the barrel bridge. So 3 screws. And 2 and 3. Loose. We'll come in, have another little video. Also get the barrel out, and then we're just left with a couple of train wheels. There's not much to it. No complications. Nice straightforward movement. Manual wind. Very clean. It was a little bit dry on oil. I'm going to go around, peg all of the jewels, just make sure there's no dried oil that could, interfere in the cleaning machine. Still need to check out the condition of the mainspring, so we need to open that up, as well as remove the keyless. So we'll be doing that shortly. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Let me just flip it over. Extract the keyless works. And I'll also take off this top bridge as well, actually. So I put it in because obviously the jewel holds that third wheel. But now there's nothing in the train, so I've just got to remember when reassembling that I need to put this plate in as one of the first steps. So it'll be keyless, this plate along with the cannon that sits underneath it. Usually I do the cannon after I do the other side, but I'm going to do it a bit differently with this watch, just because of how it's set up differently. Get a bit of Rodico, it's a bit stuck. There we go. I'm going to leave this post in place. There's 2 screws holding it down. I'm just going to leave that there. I quite frankly don't see the point in removing that one particular part. So the keyless, or at least the set and lever spring, got 1 single screw. Now she comes. Okay, I'm not sure how it's set up underneath, and I'm fearful there's a spring that's just going to fly out. So let's try to be very careful. You see my finger is being very close to the spring. Just don't want it to lose anything. Okay, set and lever spring is off. I can see the yoke spring. That's usually why I fear it's gonna fly out. but it's pretty well seated, so I haven't got to worry about that. So let's try and get that yoke spring. You can see it just here, curled around. Okay. Yoke spring removed, which means the yoke can swiftly follow. Once it comes off its post, there we go. Now the way I deal with these setting levers, ones that have the screw going through the base plate, is I'll loosen it, remove the stem, but I'll tighten it back up. I'll leave the setting lever and setting lever screw in place, because those can be quite a fiddle to refit. We're not going to try and make more work for ourselves when it's not necessary. Bit of pegwood, just go around the jewels. Get everything cleaned up. Make life a bit easier for the cleaning machine. Do the same on the dial side. Hey there, Von Grail. How you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. I see I have fancy new wrench. Yes, you are a moderator now on the channel. I don't know how many moderators I'm actually allowed on the channel. I think I've got about 4 or 5 at the moment. I think it was very fitting. But yeah, we are just working on this quite nice vintage Longines. Bit of a different setup to a standard watch, as I discovered. So yeah, it's been pretty good. It's very clean. There's no signs of any rust. It was ticking actually when I gave it a bit of a wind. It's just a bit dry on oil and the balance jewels specifically. I think the train is running a little bit dry as well, but we can get that all fixed. Doing well. Doing some bicycle maintenance today and finishing up some work. I will use some of my powers for good, not for evil. If I use them at all, that is. Yes, you have all the power in your hands now. But everyone here is pretty chill. I haven't had any bad eggs yet in the channel. I've had no inappropriate messages, so it's more of a precaution getting moderators set up in case the stream does actually start to take on a lot more viewers and it's harder to monitor it, because I'm looking to take the YouTube grind a bit more seriously. So obviously now it's quite chill. But I can't say it will always be like that. So I need a selection of good people to ensure things stay in order. And you have been selected. When you have more viewers, you will get some jerks in the mix. Of course, it's bound to happen eventually. I think I've been so far very lucky that everyone's been on their best behaviour. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we get a few, you know, inappropriate messages here and there. But that's why you are now a moderator. You can hit them with the ban hammer if you do see any comments that are not appropriate. Give them a telling off. So yeah, the plan is to get all this stripped down and cleaned, and tomorrow I will assemble it. I completely forgot to take out the base plate jewel. Like a potato. So we'll take that out now. I've got an incorrect jewel. I'm not sure if these jewels are correct. Well, they're very different if they are. Maybe the oil's just... It almost like it's too small, the cap, but I think it might just be me seeing things. Once it's all taken apart and clean the machine, we'll get a better view of everything. So it's probably just me. Will do. Your super fine oiler is on the way. It takes a few weeks to get here from the UK. Yeah, it's going to take a little while. But hopefully, when you do get it, it'll make your life a lot easier. Yeah, having the micro oiler is a very good addition to your arsenal of tools. So I'm just going around the train bridge, just making sure we have no like thick dried up grease or oil. Just a little bit of pegwood. Okay, pretty clean for the cleaning machine. Obviously this is a vintage, I'm not sure when it was last serviced, so there's a good chance these oils have dried up. Quite looking forward to it. I don't blame you for looking forward to it. Oh, okay. So this is, I believe, a mainspring with a T-section in it. So there's a slot. If I can, hang on. Try and point it out to you without the light getting in the way. Just here. It's a tiny slot in the top of the barrel. And basically at the end of the mainspring there is a risen section. Yeah, top and bottom. Oh, it's a sealed unit. Is this one of those ones that don't come apart? Sometimes you get barrels that just aren't designed to come apart. So before I try and open this up, I'm just having a little... No, I think this one will come apart. Yeah, some of them I have seen they're like almost riveted over. I think this one's fine though. What I'll do is I'll open it the way I would typically open it. I'll put a bit of pressure on. If it pops, fantastic. If not, I'll be a bit more cautious. Okay, it didn't want to pop. Ooh, okay. Okay, this may actually be one of the riveted. I've heard of at least one barrel that doesn't come apart, that you can still take apart in service. Yeah. That's what I was thinking this one was, but this one might actually be like a complete sealed unit that's not meant to come apart. Razor blades you can use on certain. Well, I use them sometimes on, I think the 7750s where they overlap on the side of the walls. I use a razor. The other way I could try get in through this little T-section slot. Get a fine blade in there. That's if I actually want to take this apart now. I'm looking at it from a side angle, and I can see there's like a chamfer all the way around. So that chamfer suggests to me that it has been, I guess, sealed completely, almost like a rivet, just all the way over. I was looking at it from the top, thinking it was quite a clean-cut edge. But now I'm looking a bit closer. The thing is with the age, I'm not sure how easy it is to access new parts for it. This isn't one of my personal jobs, this has come from shop, family business. They haven't provided me with a new barrel or mainspring. So I might just put this aside for the time being, this barrel, just unit complete, and just say, hey, this barrel's not going to come apart, it's not designed to. Due to its age, I'm not sure how old it is, but I imagine if this was going to an actual like Longines service center, they would just place the whole unit as part of the service. If it was an official Longines service, I imagine they would just change the whole unit. Complete new barrel would be my best guess. So you see me going with my eyeglass, just trying to take a look. I might go into the micro cam just to kind of show you guys what I'm seeing. Onto the micro cam. Give me 1 second as I try and get this all focused. Okay, so this is the edge. And there's the teeth of the barrel. It's very hard to see, but on the right there's the barrel wall, and on the left is the barrel cap. And there's a chamfer on the right, and it looks like there's a chamfer on the cap. So it's basically been almost pressed in place. I'll try and show you the There's the notch. I think it's over here on this side. Up there it is. That is the end of the mainspring. But yeah. The notch could be an opportunity to gain access. You are very right. Because what I was thinking was using that little notch, opening up with a screwdriver. What I'll do, because I don't want to break anything obviously, so we're very careful. I'm going to take my yellow screwdriver. I'll see how easy it wants to come off. If it's putting up a lot of resistance, I'm just not gonna risk it. I'll just have to report back to the shop and say, hey, here's the situation. I'm still a noob, haven't seen very much, but still that's the first time I've seen this way of securing the end of the mainspring. Yeah, it's referred to as a, I think it's a T-section. So at the very end, I've got a bit of paper and pen. 1 second. Okay, so where's my hand? So usually at the end of a mainspring, imagine this is the end. Yeah, typically you'll have, could be a hole within your mainspring which will latch onto a notch at the end of the barrel on the inside of the wall. And then you've got other mainsprings. If you look at it from like a top view, it will come, there's your mainspring, and then you get like almost like a little cut off like that, and then this will press up against the side of the barrel wall. This is on automatics, but this one, so if you're taking here, you'd have a hole. So this would be the end of your mainspring, and it's like a T, capital T. And then obviously you've got the hole at the top of your cap and your barrel, and it'll be held in there. Sorry for the crude drawings, or I hope it makes sense. So you'll have one end poking through the top of the cap and then the other going through the base of the barrel, and that's what holds it in place. A T-section. As for this one, yeah, sometimes the barrels just aren't designed to come apart, so I was gonna see if I can wedge my screwdriver in. The thing is, it's very tight. No, I'm I'm not gonna be able to. My screwdriver's too fat. Yeah, sealed unit does kind of read it as a challenge, doesn't it? I think that might be telling me something, and I'm trying to ignore it. I'm not trying to ignore it, I'm just trying to see if there's a workaround, because I know with its age, can't really replace it. So is there a chance we can still use this barrel complete just as it is? I'm going to give it one more shot, see if it pops. So I just put my tweezers on the side of the walls of the barrel, and I'll just press down, and the pressure from the arbor would make it go pop. Yeah. She ain't budging. Alright. Not to worry. I mean, there's every chance it's fine, and that barrel is actually going to be okay to use. I will have to get back to you on that one. I'm going to have to report back to shop and say, hey, it's a sealed unit barrel. Can't open it. It's not designed to be opened. Tried to open it, but no success. Maybe they have a spare lying around, because I doubt they're going to be able to find one brand new. Just due to its age. Yeah, but it's not good to force it. If it opened with a little bit of pressure I was putting on, that's one thing. But if I force it, I'm more than likely going to break teeth of the barrel itself, and just cause more. I'll do more harm than good by forcing it. So don't force. If it doesn't want to go, it's not going to go. That's just how it is sometimes. So I'm gonna just get a quick little video. I'm trying to get a lot more shorts up at the moment. Yeah, you don't want to force anything on this scale. If I put a bit of pressure on like I just did and it popped open, cool. We could look at it then. But the most likely thing that's going to happen is I will break teeth on the walls of the barrel, or I'm gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to deform the barrel or the barrel cap. As I said, I'll do more harm than good trying to force this open, so I'm just going to leave it. It's not worth the hassle of trying to open it up. It's not designed to. Just one to keep an eye on. When I find myself struggling, I have to step back and make sure what I'm trying to do actually makes sense. Yeah, you do have to sometimes. Yeah, the second I saw it said sealed unit, it's like, ooh, okay. That could be trouble. And trouble she is. But anyway, I'm going to have to find out what I'm going to do with this. I might just be asked to test it with this barrel. It was working quite well actually without me servicing it. So I know the mainspring's okay. The mainspring's okay. I may have to just try and seep in some grease and oil through any entry holes I can. I might just be able to test it as it is. Especially as I'm pretty green. No, it makes sense to be cautious, regardless as to how long you've been in the industry. You've got to stay on your toes. Yeah, I'm gonna ask what they want me to do with this. The likelihood is I'm just going to be asked to test it with the with the barrel, because we know the mainspring's good. The watch was ticking. And there's no sign of any wear or rust or damage on the barrel itself. It'll just be a case of maybe trying to seep in some oil and grease to help it for another few years, really. unless I am provided with a new barrel complete from this watch from what, I'm not sure how old this thing is. It's a vintage job, so yeah, probably looking at a good 40-50 years old. That's how it is. Right, I'm going to get the rest of it through the machine anyway. I'll go live tomorrow. I will do something. If I'm not assembling this tomorrow, I'll find something else to do. I have found myself burning through work at the moment, so I'm also trying to balance out jobs aside so I can actually make YouTube videos. I'm going to see if I can bring a job back from work tomorrow to actually do a recording of it. But I'll show you it if I do get it. Okay, I'm afraid that will be it for today. I know it's only just been over an hour and 10 minutes. But the goal today was to get this stripped down, which we've done 99%. The last percent is in that barrel, which isn't meant to come apart. It is what it is. And yeah, I'll go live tomorrow. If I'm not doing this, I'll find something else to do. I will let you know. Thank you all for joining. Sorry it's a short one, but it is a work night and it's now nearly 10 o'clock, so I've got to be in bed. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a wonderful evening and night, and I'll catch up with you hopefully for a longer stream, because tomorrow's Friday. A longer stream tomorrow. Alright. Thank you for joining. I'll see you later. Good night.